Well, it's an absolutely beautiful day out here. It's the 18th March. Very breezy, as I'm sure you can hear. But yeah, it's look at the colour of that sky. Amazing. Makes the heart happy just to see that. Very sadly, some people can't be bothered to take their rubbish home with them. I don't know. And the other thing that you spot when you're out and about is our friend the dog poo. Again, inconsiderate dog owners not picking up after their animals. So as much as you want to come out here and enjoy this beautiful weather and these glorious views over the Dorset countryside, always be a bit wary about where you're putting your feet. Now if you follow the channel at all, and I am eternally grateful to anyone who watches a video, interacts with a video, or subscribes. You really have no idea how much any of that means to me. But the older I get, the more grateful I am that anyone bothers with these sorts of videos, and I appreciate you've seen all this 100 times before. I really wanted to give another update about the channel. We were supposed to be going on holiday next Tuesday. As some of you will know, Karen has not been well for almost 6 months now. So that holiday has had to be cancelled. Still waiting to find out what's wrong with Karen, and she's on various waiting lists for cardiology, gastroenterology and a liver specialist, but unfortunately in these straitened times waiting lists can be 6 months or longer, but she is on those waiting lists and they are being pursued by her GP. She's getting increasingly frustrated with being unable to do very much and having these hard attacks which render her helpless, for want of a better word, for up to a couple of hours. And the fact that they're unpredictable is also a concern. But yeah, obviously once we know for sure what's afflicting her, then we can go through the saga of paying an astronomical amount, I'm sure, for some travel insurance, and we can get back hopefully to doing some travel, doing some trips and taking you along for the ride. I've just turned 60. Karen's a couple of years older than me. So whilst we're still relatively with it and healthy, although healthy is obviously a a subjective phrase, we would like to do some travelling. So stay tuned and we will see what happens. Of course, Karen's not keen on cows, but here they are in all their glory, enjoying the sunshine, I'm sure, as much as I am, given the horrendous winter weather that we've had. Well, there's obviously been quite a bit of toing and froing down here in this part of the fields. Not quite sure what's going on here, but there are some very large and very deep tracks reminiscent of World War trenches almost. Yeah, we've not had much rain the last few days or so, but you can still see where the water is lying down there. I think it's going to take a long time to dry out completely. Of course, in a few weeks we'll be able to take our annual bluebell hike through the woods up there. There are some already out, I've seen here and there, but none in the actual woods themselves, not yet. And we've got Parnham Park, Parnham Deer Park over to our right hand side here. A place I've been to on many occasions. And the owner of Parnham, who wants to raise some money in order to rebuild the house, which was destroyed by fire several years ago, wants to build a lot of houses on his land. I think it's something in the region of 86 houses, which, whilst great for him, are very likely to be priced far outside the financial limits of people who live locally. And of course, if you're talking about 86 houses and 300, 400 people, depending on how big the houses turn out to be, puts a strain on resources such as schools and GP practices, and certainly in the case of the latter, they are already stretched to breaking point and beyond. The local sentiment appears to be mainly in the negative, and I believe that the planning application has been refused. I think, at least in its initial the initial application has been refused, but obviously there are appeals, and there have been surveyors out looking at the roads, etc. So we will wait and see. But in the meantime, this is not something that I was aware of. I wonder what's caused this to come down. Wow. did it push? Was it pushed or did it fall? Yeah, that's interesting. I've always thought these two houses here were in an enviable location. Barnum Park to the right, and all this countryside beside and behind them. Yeah, great setting, but I don't know how they'll feel about Barnum if planning permission is given, because I think that's going to be very disruptive for them, having it going on 100 yards or so from their doors. And here we are, heading back in towards the town. Ooh. There's a plane up there. Right, there you are. Nice day for flying, I suppose. Not much in the way of clouds to obscure the view. And this is the stroll back into Bedminster from the fields. And yeah, I mean, it does rather spoil the view. Some pretty purple flowers there. Excuse the fingers, just had bits of fluff on my screen. And yeah, you can still see where the sun hasn't got to the water. It's still pretty boggy. Going back to talking about Karen, obviously if we're not able to do any foreign travel, then we'll see what we can do in terms of visiting some places in the UK. Lots of National Trust places we haven't been to, lots of cities and towns that we'd like to have a look at. So yeah, I'm going to interrupt. This is what I was saying about the depth of feeling in Bedminster. So you can see there's a lot of anti-building sentiment, and obviously that will continue until a decision is made one way or the other. And obviously if the decision negatively affects the town and the houses are allowed to be built, then I think you will find a very strong depth of feeling amongst the people who live here. We really don't want that noise and everything else on our doorstep. But there we go. We will have to see what happens and allow the application to run its course. So I don't think you need to hear any more from me at this particular point. I will keep you updated as to what is happening, and yeah, we will catch up with each other. Sorry, I'm just admiring the blossom on that tree. we will catch up with each other again at some point in the future. In the meantime, look after yourselves, look after your loved ones. It's a big and crazy old world out there. And we all need to be kind now, I think, perhaps more than we've ever needed to be kind to one another. So, look after your mental health, look after your physical health. I said, be gentle to yourselves, be kind to one another. And thanks again for all your support. It really, really is appreciated. And I will catch up with you all again in the very near future. So, bye for now.